Pastor Melissa, and it's good to be with you here again today with a daily devotion. In our devotions this week, we are exploring the Christian life lived in close proximity to Jesus because we get to see the miracles. The story of the wedding feast in Cana when Jesus turned water into wine is the story that is informing our thinking all week. And I'm here in the shower ministry because lives are being changed here. So today, we explore an even more dramatic miracle. Jesus isn't just radically changing chemical structure of a substance. He is creating life where there was death. In John 11, we are told the story of Lazarus, a good friend of Jesus, is gravely ill. Lazarus' two sisters, Mary and Martha, send for the teacher, believing that Jesus has the power to change what seemed like an inevitable outcome for their brother. They seem to believe that Jesus can fix it right up until Lazarus actually dies. Don't you think we do that too? We have an expected outcome for a situation that makes us feel uncomfortable. So when that outcome actually feels comfortable, we're grateful that God has fixed everything for us. All done. Way to go, God. But when it doesn't all work out the way that we were expecting it to go, we think that we have failed. We weren't faithful enough, or God just doesn't want us to be happy, or we must have been hoping for the wrong thing. All kinds of ways to rationalize it. And that's when our faith wanes. We begin to let doubt lessen and weaken and minimize our faith. If we are not careful, we will put limits on God's power according to the way we interpret our disappointments. That's where we find Martha in our text today, John 11, 24 to 26. Martha says, I know that Lazarus will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. She seems to know it all, doesn't she? She has been taught well to put resurrection in a tidy little predictable box. It's easy to wrap up eternity and tuck it away into our maybe someday hope chest. But then, Jesus. I remind you that Martha is walking right alongside Jesus when she expresses her doubt. And Jesus says to her, I am. Jesus says to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Jesus says in the TV show, The Chosen, get used to different. And this is one of those moments that he is talking about. Jesus is challenging Martha to break out of the ritualized clay jars that held her watery faith. And Jesus is saying, I'm relieving you of the fear of death so that you can live. And I mean really live life on the vine, growing in the really, really good wine that can radically change the world today, right now. Not sometime, not someday, not some distant future. Now. Jesus is radically changing people to live this resurrected life. My friends, this is the only truth. Life close to Jesus, seeing miracles, and experiencing liberation from the inside out. Do you believe this? Pray with me. Jesus, help my unbelief.